Hey guys, College Predictor here. NFL playoff picks. Every wildcard game, who I think is going to win the Super Bowl, and I'll be continually picking the other games, such as the divisional rounds and the conference championship. But for now, we're doing the wildcard games. So, start off with the AFC conference. We have the Cleveland Browns, who will be taking on the Houston Texans in a game of shocking playoff teams. Texans going 10-7, winning the AFC South, and Cleveland going 11-6, runner-ups behind Baltimore for the NFC North. Now for Houston, they sucked last year. They got number 2 and number 3 pick off a trade, and they had great picks with that. They got Will Anderson, C.J. Stroud. With Stroud, they've been amazing. Without Stroud, that's where most of their losses have been when he was hurt. And in fact, without Stroud is when Cleveland beat Houston. Which, this is a rematch, and if Deshaun Watson was here, it'd be a return game. But it's the legend Joe Flacco, who, it would be cool to see him play at Baltimore, but they would have to win this game, and they would need KC and Buffalo to win. And for the Texans, they have Jerry Hughes out with Will Anderson, Shelton Rankins, Robert Woods, Jonathan Greenard, and Nolan Brown being questionable. For the Browns, Cedric Tillman, Grant Diplo, and their kicker Dustin Hopkins are hurt, with Mike Ford, Pierre Strong, Denzel Ward, and Juan Thornell being hurt questionably. Texans with Stroud have been really good, and they've won all the games they've had to. And I would love to see Joe Flacco go back to Baltimore for a playoff game, but they're going to lose to Houston by 3 as a 1.5-point favorites. All right, let's go to the game where it's being played in Antarctica. Not literally, but it's going to be -8 degrees with 18-mile-an-hour gushes in this game. So it's going to be freezing. Only real football fans are going to come out, which Chiefs have real football fans, even though most NFL fans aren't, compared to college fans. But Chiefs are one of those good teams that have good fans. This is Tyreek Hill's villain game. He got, I believe he got released from KC, came to Miami, has become an electric player for Tua, an electric receiver for the team, and he's going to come out firing. They're going to have to watch Tyreek Hill in this game. I mean, it's hard enough to guard him in general. It's hard enough to guard him when he's motivated as much as he will be going to this game. Now, mind you, no Xavier Howard for Miami, as well with no Deshaun Elliott, Raheem Mostert, Jalen Waddle. Those are all questionable, as well as Javon Holland. While the Chiefs are only losing out Wanya Morris and potentially Kadarius Toney and Justin Ross, which those receivers just drop balls anyways, so he's going to be looking for Kelsey the whole game. I wonder how many times they're going to show Taylor Swift on the screen. So there's going to be 2 game lines in this game, one as a joke and one as a real. Kansas City is a 4-point favorite, and with the hot offense of Miami, I feel like they're bound for a bounce-back game, even though both these teams have been disappointing towards the end of the year. So, the first game line, Miami 4-point underdog. I've taken the Dolphins to win by 7. And over-under 11.5 times, they show Taylor Swift on the screen. Comment down below what you think. And that's just a joke. I'm going to say under. I think it'll be around 8 or 9 times on the screen. Alright, let's go to the last AFC game. Played between the Pittsburgh Steelers, who somehow find a way to make the playoffs every single year, against the Buffalo Bills, who turned it on the second half. I remember Buffalo was 6-6 at one point. Now they're sitting at 11-6, 5-game win streak. When they end up winning the AFC East and are the number 2 seed, only behind Baltimore. Pittsburgh, 10-7, 7 seed, always finds a way to have a winning record. So I expected them to be here at this point, at the beginning of the year. But can they do anything with it? It's going to be tough without TJ Watt, without Kenny Pickett, and Mason Rudolph as starting quarterback. While the Bills are full strength behind besides Gabe Davis and Taylor Rapp, who got the game-winning interception against the Dolphins to seal the division. So, Buffalo, they're a high favorite, 9.5. This game's early, 10 o'clock Pacific time. Bills, they're only 1 game better than the Steelers, but by talent-wise, if you compare them position to the position, it's not even close. So the Bills, much better receivers. I would say better running backs, better quarterbacks, better defense without Watt for Steelers. And it's going to be hard to run the ball with the Steelers with your receivers blocking like they have in the last couple weeks. So Pittsburgh, they're going to need to slow the game down, not take as many chances as Buffalo will if they want to win this game. I just don't think they can. Buffalo's too good of a team, too hot of a team. Give me Buffalo by 17 as a 9.5-point favorite at home. Let's go to our first NFC game between the Philadelphia Eagles, who started 10-1 and ended up 11-6, taking on the Buccaneers, who went 9-8, just did enough to make the playoffs with Baker Mayfield, winning their division by one game. Now, the Eagles, I've been a little sketched out by them recently. They have not been the best recently at all. They've lost 5 of their last 6. One of them was to the New York Giants, another one to the Dallas Cowboys, another one to the San Francisco 49ers. And their one win in that streak was against the Giants, and they also had losses to Seattle and, I believe, Arizona. Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield, former number 1 pick, former Heisman Trophy winner, started his career great and then kind of fell off. He proved that he could lead teams to playoffs with this Buccaneer team. He did what he had to. His stats have been solid. They haven't been the best, but they haven't been the worst either. 4,044 yards, 28 touchdowns, 10 picks. He's been solid. However, on the ground, he only has 1 touchdown, so he has not been a scrambler all year. Eagles, they have the leading touchdown rusher for quarterbacks, Jalen Hurts. The push is unstoppable, especially for an NFC South team. And this is one of the situations where I feel like we could get a 4 seed being a 5 seed upset. Eagles on the road are a 3-point favorite. This game's going to be close on Monday night. I just think Philadelphia has the better talent, so I'm taking the Eagles to win by 4. All right, let's go to our next game between the quarterback flip battle between the Rams and the Lions. Mind you, Jared Goff used to be a Ram. Matthew Stafford used to be a Lion. Man, this game's going to be interesting. It's Sunday night. And in Detroit, this is their first playoff game at home, especially, since I believe 1994. So it's not going to be easy for LA. It's going to be a really big crowd. Detroit, 12-5, 3 seed in the playoffs. They won the NFC North, and the Rams came out of nowhere because of Puka Nacua and Kyron Williams to go 10-7, get runner-up to the Niners in their division, and overall just had a really solid year without Cooper Kupp for most of that year. This game's going to be really good. It should be a really real physical game since the Lions and Rams, the quarterback situation, Detroit's a 3-point favorite, and I do think that Detroit is the better team in this game. But as long as the Rams can consistently run the ball, I think they're going to win this game just to be fine. So I think Rams, this is a game they could pull off the upset, but just Detroit's first playoff game, it cannot be a disappointment. Detroit, I'm taking them to win by 3 as a 3-point favorite, so I'm not saying to bet on this one. And we go to our last game between the Green Bay Packers, with Jordan Love making the playoffs in his first career year as a starter, against the hot Dallas Cowboys. Mind you, the Packers have won last 4 games between these two teams in AT&T, but Dallas at home this year, they've just been so good. Their only home losses this entire year, was to Jacksonville. That's preseason. The Cowboys have gone undefeated at home this year, meaning their 5 losses were on the road, and 2 of them were to San Fran and Philadelphia and another one to Miami. So they've lost a good team. Green Bay, 9-8, just barely made the playoffs. They needed to beat the Vikings the week before. They did that, and they needed to win against the Bears the following week. They did what they had to. They're in the playoffs. And boy, this is a tough game for Green Bay. I mean, Jordan Love's been very solid all year, but Dak's an MVP candidate right now. He already made the Pro Bowl. And meanwhile, the Packers don't have many Pro Bowl players, especially on the offensive side of the ball. So Dallas's offense is going to outscore the Green Bay offense. We know that. So the only thing that could help Green Bay is their defense. Dallas has a better defense with that. So Dallas is better on every platform on the football field, offense, defense, and special team. Because of that, Dallas 7-point favorite. I'm taking the Cowboys to win by 10. because this is an old rivalry game. And for my Super Bowl prediction, who I think is going to make it, it's going to be the Ravens and the Niners. Yes, I know, it's a little bit lame, 2 1 seeds, but man, I don't think these two teams could be stopped. The only team that did stop the 49ers and Brock Purdy was, guess who? The Baltimore Ravens. And Baltimore, with Lamar Jackson, who finally has good wide receivers to throw to, man, that offense is unstoppable, especially with Mark Andrews potentially returning as he's off the IR now. This is a really good game. I mean, this isn't two of the best defenses in the league, as well as two of the best offenses in the league. I guarantee that the Ravens their offense is going to be unstoppable in any playoff game. The only thing that can stop them is containing Lamar Jackson, making him throw, which is still not a good solution, but it's the best you can do. So this game should be really good if this is the Super Bowl in Vegas. I do think if this is the Super Bowl, Lamar Jackson is going to just be too much for the Niners defense, even with Bosa, even with Fred Warner, even with Charvarius Ward, even with Chase Young. I still think Lamar is too much for them, and that Raven defense is going to do their job against Brock Purdy. So I would take the Ravens to win by 7 in Super Bowl 58. So I'm taking the Ravens to win by 7 against the Niners in the highly anticipated Super Bowl in Las Vegas. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, stay tuned, where I'll be continually filming every NFL playoff game, as well as going over every NCAA football conference recap and talking about their MVPs, how the team did, etc. So, thank you for watching, and until I make those videos, see you later.